Constructing your life is about much more than just building a bank account. Each week, join real estate entrepreneur and mindset coach Austin Linney as he interviews guests who are constructing their dream lives and impacting the world around them on a daily basis. If you're an entrepreneur or wanting to start a business, or you just want to hear motivating stories of how others have overcome the odds, you are in the right place. And now for your host, Austin Linney.
Guys, welcome back to Construct Your Life, Construct My Life, Construct Your Life. Guys, we've got, she's been on like 700 podcasts. She is a veteran of the podcasting, motivational. No, I'm just kidding. I'm going to give her. Guys, we have Staci here, my good friend. How are you doing, Staci?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm doing good. Guys, this is her first podcast. She's very excited. She's pumped. And we're going to tell your story. We're going to empower people. We're going to talk about life. And that's where we're going to go. And it's exciting to be able to give people opportunity to share their story. And like you said, if we can affect one person, if we can change one person's day, then we've done our job. So, what I like to do is let my guests start their story where they want to, and we'll kind of go from there. So you start where you want to, and then we'll go.
All right. Well, my name is Staci Hinnenkamp. I live in a really small town in southern Minnesota. I have 3 boys. They are 5, 7, and 8 now. I've been married for 10 years. I got sober on October 1st, 2019. So it's been over a year and a half since I have not had any alcohol. And I am coming up on actually 2 months without any cigarettes. So, yeah, but I'll just jump into like my addiction story. So on October 1st, 2019 is the day that I decided that I was not going to drink. And because I decided not to drink that day, I could feel my heart beating really funny. And it was like 3 pounds, like boom, boom, boom. And it was in my stomach. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. Just go to the garage and be alone and try to get it to go away. Well, it wouldn't go away. So I told my husband that like, I'm going to go to the ER. And I had in my brain that like, okay, when I get to the ER, I'm going to tell him that I have a problem and that I need help because I can't live like this. And I never made it to the ER on my own. I was driving 70 miles an hour on the back roads, and it's a 55 mile per hour zone. I was trying to make it there, and I was shaking my hands like this, just waving them because I could feel them. They were like just closing in, and everything in my body was just like curling in, and I can feel it in my feet and just like everything. It was the worst feeling in the world. I had to pull over on the side of the road and call 911. And I legitimately thought I was dying. I called 911 and I remember asking the dispatcher, I was like, am I going to die? And he just told me to focus on my breathing. I tried to focus on my breathing. I couldn't freaking breathe. I ended up thinking about how my husband Nick was going to have to come identify my body on the side of the road. I was going to be slumped over in the driver's seat of my Tahoe. My kids were never going to see me again. They were basically going to have to grow up and tell everyone that, oh my gosh, my mom was a statistic. She died because she was an alcoholic. And I said out loud, and I didn't care if the dispatcher thought I was a weirdo for saying it, but I said, Grandpa John, please don't let me die. And I didn't die, and I haven't had anything to drink since then. And I spent the night in ICU, and that first night wasn't bad with the withdrawal or anything. It was like, oh, well, this isn't bad, like, cool, like, I can deal with this. But that second night, I woke up thinking I peed my pants because I was sweating so much. and I had to go to the bathroom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like what is happening to me? But it's because I was detoxing. I was sweating so bad and I had not slept. I was up like every 30 minutes and just craziness. But I don't know. So after that, after getting sober, I just kind of was like stagnant, like, okay, I'm sober. Now what? It's cool. Like, yeah, like I can do this. Like, what do I do with my life now? Fast forward to basically this past February, I was in contact with Amber, and then Amber was in contact with Sterling. Craziness, within an hour before the first recovery mastermind started, I joined that, and my life was seriously changed forever. I know it's just so cheesy to say, like, my life changed forever, but it really did. So much has changed.
How much, like, you're on a health journey now? Like, how much weight have you lost? Like, tell us about all that stuff, and then we'll dive into some other stuff.
Okay, well, I have lost, as of last Saturday, it was 29 pounds, but I weighed myself this morning and it said 220, but that was before I ate or drank anything too. So, but so we'll say 29 pounds in a month and a half, I think. And I am doing 75 hard now, and I'm on day 18. And I also do CrossFit 3 times a week. My kids have joined in on me walking outside and exercising in the house and eating better. And because of me going on this health journey and eating better and doing all this stuff for myself, it's trickled down to like my kids and my husband and my mom, my dad, and even other people I went to middle school with who I haven't even talked to in years. Like, they're like, oh, because of you and seeing your post and being motivational, like, I've started this and I've lost 4 pounds. And like, it's so cool for me to hear stuff like that. Yeah.
And so powerful. But one of the great things that you told me recently was also, aren't you getting off your blood pressure medicine too?
Oh, yeah. It was a week ago that I got to stop taking 10 milligrams. I was on 42.5 milligrams of blood pressure medication, 2 different kinds. So a week ago, I stopped taking the half pill of the one medication. And then this morning, I just got a message from my doctor saying, like, yes, you can stop taking your one medication, which would be the 12.5 milligram pill altogether, because I've been tracking my blood pressure and it's like consistently like well under normal. And it's just something I never thought I'd be able to do, because I thought I was going to be on this medication for the rest of my life. And me changing my lifestyle, everything about my life, completely doing a 180. I'm not going to be on medication anymore. Like, I've stopped taking my anxiety medication too. In another week, I'm sure I'll be off my blood pressure medication for the rest of my life because of the good choices I'm making now.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, I mean, 911 was called. Yeah, there was a moment of, I might not be there for my family and all that stuff, but I'm curious, because everybody has their own story. Why do you think? Because I'm sure that you thought about quitting or wanted to quit or whatever, right? Why do you think this time it stuck? Like, why do you what do you like? Yeah, we've seen a crazy improvement in the last 3 months, but the most important part was getting sober in the first place. So, what are you thinking about that moment? Was what made it so important that you finally crossed over to the, I don't want to do this anymore?
Because I really thought I was going to die. Like, I was awake and I thought I was going to die, because I would go to bed not knowing if I was going to wake up the next morning. I had bought 2 bottles of vodka, and I knew by the time the second bottle was gone, I would be dead. I got half a bottle gone of the 2, and I didn't get to drink the rest of them for a good reason, because I thought I was dying on the side of the road. And to see everything flash before my eyes in real time, it just changed my life. And like, also all the shame and the guilt, everyone knew everything. My mom knew, my dad knew, my husband knew how bad it was, because they knew I was in the ICU, because they wouldn't let me go home because my body was so out of whack. And so finally having everyone know, like, my deepest, darkest secret, I could let it all go. I could get help, and everyone was there for me. Like, they didn't yell at me, they didn't judge me. Like, they were a little mad, but they knew they just needed to be there to help me through it. And I'm glad they were, because I couldn't have done it without them.
So powerful. I'm curious. Let's say 2 years ago, what would Staci say to that person that was hurting and in pain? Like, as you say here today.
I just want to hug her and tell her to knock it off and just go get help. Your life can be better. Quit thinking that you have to die to let everything go, because that's going to cause more pain than you suffering through getting sober. There's so many great things that will come from getting sober. Like, you're not alone. Nobody's alone. But it's hard to think that there's other people out there that know what you're going through, because you have a wall up, and you don't want anyone to know what's going on in your mind. Like, there's no way nobody can relate to me. There's a lot of people that can relate to you. I mean, I wouldn't go back and do this all over again, that's for sure. I mean, I've experienced near death once. I'd rather not go back and do that again.
So I want to pick apart. Timing is everything. For guys, anybody that doesn't know what she's talking about, me, Colin Smith, Sterling, and Amber Miller started a group. Tim Rode is an amazing human. Carolyn, Colleen have a charity called One Life Fully Lived. We decided to start a recovery mastermind for people that have been through recovery. And it's a 6-week, 8-week course to teach them how to thrive, not just survive, in entrepreneurship and life and everything. And so our first group just went through in January, and Staci was a part of it an hour before the deadline. So very interesting. But what do you think it was about the group, or just being around those people without judgment, and just kind of what the last 3 months is for you, and kind of what exploded for you in your life and shifted everything? Because you were, like you said, you were kind of just stuck in neutral. Yeah, you were sober, but nothing was really happening.
Well, Andre, I'll never forget it when he said something along the lines of, like, well, if I get up at 5 a.m., I can either, your alarm goes off, you can either get up and get shit done for the day and conquer whatever you need to do, or you can go back to bed and be like everyone else. And he said that, and I was like, dang, he's right. I don't want to be like anyone else. Like, I want to be me, like the best version of me. And like, ever since then, like, I've worked out every single day since he said that. And That's a few months, couple months, but and realizing that I can share my story without people judging me, because I've never went to an AA meeting for fear of judgment, which is the dumbest thing ever, because everyone's there to get help. If I go to an AA meeting, it's full of alcoholics. Why would they be judging me? That makes no sense. And I think the little victories and everything, once I started, it's like, okay, the first day on the treadmill was 10 minutes and I was sweating and I was huffing and puffing. And I'm like, I don't know if I can do this tomorrow. And then it's like the next day, it's like, oh, well, I did this for 15 minutes. Like, I bet tomorrow I can do that for longer. And then now I'm crazy. People tell me I'm weird, and nobody does 2 45-minute workouts a day. Nobody walks that much. Nobody does that many squats in a day. And it's like, well, I did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think what you said earlier, and what I've noticed, and what's so powerful for me, is the impact it's had on your kids and your family. Talk about that. That's probably got to be a byproduct of just awesomeness, right? That you didn't even know was going to happen.
Yeah, my oldest now, because he's 8 years old, he says eight times running, which, like running in place, lifting his legs up 8 times, whatever. And then he's going to do like 8 jumping jacks and 8 sit-ups and 8 this and 8 that. And my youngest, like everyone, like all 3 of the boys, they see me doing it and then they just jump in and want to do it too. Like, well, I can do it better. And it becomes a contest between the 3 of them. And my husband has even been like, well, I see it's working for you. Like, if you want to put me on this diet of yours, like, I can do it too, but I don't want to put too much stress on you. And I'm like, I keep telling him, I'm just like, I'll do it. Like, I don't care. It's not going to make me hurt my back making a better lunch for you so you don't go to McDonald's every day. But I told him, I was like, you have to do this because you want to do it. Don't do it because I'm doing it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it's my mom. She started too. She called me the other day and she's like, guess what kind of snacks I bought at the grocery store? And she telling me all like, like the tangerines and this and that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then it's went to my dad too. And he's even started to eat better, which he should be eating better. Because like I said to you before, last summer, he had a stroke and found out he had diabetes and sleep apnea and all that. And he's very lucky to be alive. He did very well for a while. And then it's just like, got off the train and just a snowball, like basically not eating like he should, like crap. And over the past month, my mom has told me, she said that like even my dad's been eating better and drinking better stuff, like more water throughout the day. And so that makes my heart happy that my dad will be here for a lot longer.
And there's actually been studies out, and I'm not suggesting that he does it right away, but there's studies out. There's a great film on Amazon Prime called Fasting. And there's studies out that prolonged fasting, like a day or here and there, can actually fix type 2 diabetes for good. So, people need to understand that the water that makes up your body and the food that puts in your body, it's probably dictating, 70 to 80% of your health problems. And when we change the diet, we change how we're working out, or just walking every day, really just walking every day. But I want to brag on you for a minute. And for everybody that's listening out there, I'm going to be as real as I can. Okay. There's a lot of you motherfuckers out there that want to talk about getting better, want to talk about doing better, want to talk about, hey, can somebody help me? Like, hey, do you have a minute of your time? All that stuff. And I brag on Staci because I said, like, hey, what book should I read? And so like, I just gave her my Audible and she was listening to like, I don't know, a book a day. Like, she's banging out books left and right. She's reading, she's working out. Like, guys, all you are sitting around and you're thinking about it. What am I going to do? Making excuses. And she didn't do any of that stuff. She's got 3 kids, taking care of a household, reading books, listening to books while she's working out, books that are shaping the way that she thinks, changing her life. Like, this is what it's all about. Like, are you going to take action when somebody gives you the opportunity to do better? Are you going to step up for yourself and really make it about you? Right. And like, you see in her story that because she made it about her, the people in her life are affected, are changed. You're too worried about what other people are going to think and all these things. All you need to do is worry about if you're the best version of yourself. That's all you need to do. And I promise you, if that's the way that you go, you will be better for it. And, that brings me to like a book that I gave you that I probably talked about ad nauseam, that if you haven't picked up this book, I don't know what to tell you. It's $13. If you can't invest $13, I don't know what to tell you. But, talk about what you say when you talk to yourself, that book that I think is so important. And like, you told me that book should be illegal. It's so good with the information in there. So like, talk about what that book did for you and kind of like reshape some of the ways that you think about yourself.
Well, it helped me quit smoking. It has a little section in there, like every time you light up a cigarette, even if you're standing by people, don't look at their face when you say this, but you're lighting up the cigarette and you're like, I don't smoke. Smoking's bad for you, even if you're smoking a whole cigarette. And so like, that's what I started doing. And then one day I'm just like, this sucks. So I stopped. And, just like retraining my subconscious mind to think, like, not say stuff like, oh, I will work out someday, or I will work out tomorrow. Like, no, like, you're telling your subconscious mind that you're basically not going to work out. So whenever I get those thoughts, like, I'm not going to work out, or I don't want to work out, I get up and I go work out. Like, if it's 5 a.m. and I'm already thinking, I don't want to do my outside workout today, I will walk outside at 5 a.m. I don't care. And I get it done. Mm-hmm. Just like all my negative thoughts, like, I don't feel like I have a lot of negative thoughts. Like, I'm still learning. I know you still catch me sometimes when I'm talking like, oh, who hates Hawaii? Well, you're right. I didn't hate living there. It's just not my cup of tea.
Yeah, but ultimately, and this is very important for everybody, is that who you were when you lived there, you weren't even happy with yourself. So really, it's you were unhappy with who you were, not with the area. And I'm not saying you'll like it any better, but I used to be the guy that used to leave a job every year and a half because I said, oh, like, I don't like it. And what I realized after many, many years of doing that is the only person I didn't like was myself.
Yeah. I didn't like myself then. I mean, heck, I don't know if I really liked myself 5-6 months ago, to be honest. And now I'm like, I love myself. Let's go talk to all these people. Like, I don't hate anyone.
And then one of the big things that I think changed your life was, and I think, I'll be honest with you, I think it's an epidemic. I think it's a pandemic in America, no pun intended with COVID, is saying sorry for everything.
Yeah. Gosh. Yeah. I almost said it again. Stop myself.
So talk about the shift that's done for you.
I don't say sorry anymore. I just mentioned this to my husband yesterday. I was like, Austin said this to me one time. And since then, I think I've said sorry a handful of times. But I catch myself before I'm about to say sorry, and I don't say it. I was like, why would I say sorry for making a joke? Like, who cares how they perceive it? Like, I think it's funny. Like, I'm not hurting anyone when I say this or telling someone my opinion. I used to say sorry all the time for telling people what I thought. I don't say sorry anymore.
I love it. Is there anything out there for anybody that's listening or Is there any message that you want to get out there that's been inside you? This is your platform to share anything you learned over the past couple months. Anything you want to share and kind of just make sure that people understand that they have everything inside them.
I just want people to know that there is hope. Like, don't give up on yourself. I gave up on myself and I chose death. I chose dying, leaving my kids and my entire family over this wonderful life that I have now. I don't want people to think that everything is lost, because it's not. You might think that you don't have anything in you to strive to be the best version of yourself, but you do. It might take you a lot of work. Well, it will take you a lot of work. It will take you a long time. You will forever be working on yourself, but don't ever give up. There's always hope. There's always good things that happen to you throughout the day. If you wake up every morning, that's at least one good thing that's happened to you every day. And I just want people to know, like, if I can do it, anyone can do it. Like, anyone can have a great life. You just have to have a little effort and put some effort into making your life. Because I have a quote sheet. It says, if you leave your growth up to randomness, you'll always live in the land of mediocrity. I'm not going to leave my growth up to randomness, because I sure as hell don't want to be mediocre in life.
Guys, when I got sober, I'm not saying I hid the fact, but I definitely didn't talk about it a lot, especially in the first year and a half. Only in probably the last year with the podcast have I realized. And I did do 12 steps, so I thought I didn't have a platform. I thought I didn't have a voice in the, probably because I didn't do it normally. And I kept it inside. And then one day I decided that wasn't going to be the case anymore, because I realized there was more people out there that needed help and or more people like me. And, you know, one of the things that people talk about with me is there's no judgment. I don't judge. I don't care. I've got my own problems. Everybody has their own problems. And it doesn't matter where I go in my life. It doesn't matter how many companies I build. It doesn't matter how many houses I own. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter any of that shit. Because this conversation, this human over here on this other side, and watching her sons grow up and have a mom that is healthier and they're healthier, and, you know, watching her son, like, you know, restore an old truck with his dad, and seeing her affect her father and mother, and like, there's no fucking piece of money that could ever inspire me more than watching her blossom into the amazing human that I knew that was always in there. And it inspires me every day to see somebody really take life by the horns and tell the fears and the bullshit and everything that she just doesn't care. And she's nervous as shit coming on here, but she shared her story like an amazing person. And I hope that this conversation empowers even one human being to do better, to lift higher, to shoot higher, chase your dreams, whatever you need. These two humans are here for you. And that's why we're having this conversation. And I just wanted to say that about you. And you inspire me every day. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. And I'm so happy to be growing together.
Thank you for letting me come on here and tell my story, because, like you said, I said to you earlier, one person, like, if it's that trickle down effect, one person, and that one person's going to help one person too.
I couldn't even. So if anybody want to follow your post and all your stuff, how would they do that?
on Facebook. My name, literally Staci, Staci Hinnenkamp, Hinnenkamp. And then I have Instagram. It's Staci Hin, Stacihin. I don't know. I share everything on Facebook.
She shares everything, guys. So you'll get a kick out of it. Her kids are a trip, and I'm super excited to see where this goes from here. And guys, if you like this episode, make sure you send it out to your friends. Share it with a friend that needs to hear this message today. And I hope everybody has a great day.
Thank you for listening to Construct Your Life with Austin Linney. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to rate, review, subscribe, and pay it forward by sharing with a friend. Most importantly, take this opportunity to start constructing your life by taking immediate action on what you learned. For show notes, resources, and more information on one-on-one coaching with Austin, visit constructyourlifepodcast.com.